I turn now to the House Intelligence Committee. The action there, as we've been discussing, Chairman Schiff revealing these talks are now underway to have the whistleblower come speak. Also, the high-stakes hearing on Thursday where the Director of National Intelligence, who we were just discussing, who's been dealing with this lawyering, is withholding a whistleblower complaint that, again, remember, they are required under law to give to Congress. For all of this, part of my panel stays, and we bring in a new member of our analysis team here, California Congressman Eric Swalwell, who, of course, serves on the Intelligence Committee as well as the Judiciary Committee. I know it's busy. Thanks for joining me from the Hill tonight.
Of course, Ari. Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with this. What changed based on what Speaker Pelosi said tonight?
Urgency of the issue. I mean, of course, this is not to dismiss the lawful inquiries into the president cashing in on access to the Oval Office, obstructing justice in the Mueller probe, working with the Russians to win his election. That is still ongoing. But here, in real time, he is asking a foreign government for help. And when you ask someone for help, you owe them something. And that means at some point in time, he would put another country's interests ahead of America's. That's betrayal. That means we have to act.
When you say you have to act, does that mean, in your view, Speaker Pelosi is committed by backing this impeachment probe to having a vote on impeachment?
Well, again, I don't want to speak for her. I think we are moving in that direction. There's a big day coming on Thursday where the whistleblower complaint, again, we're just operating right now under what the president has copped to, right? I mean, he's not denying what has gone on, but we don't know if this complaint also articulates other concerns or a completely different concern. We know we're entitled to it, and we know that it's urgent and that it's credible. And so if we don't get that by Thursday, I think that certainly is obstruction of Congress and something that I would support impeachment for.
You would support if this ultimately goes on and there's never a floor vote in the United States House on impeaching President Trump, do you view then what Speaker Pelosi did tonight as not enough?
No. I think she is just, prioritizing this urgent issue is something we have to work on right now. She's not saying that the other issues and the other investigations won't go on, but there's an urgency, to this. And, the president should turn over the whistleblower complaint. We're not really going to give much credibility to what's in the presidential edited transcripts. We've seen them, turn over false transcripts and false videos.
Right. And I think I understand that. And I think our viewers are up to date on that. What I'm getting at is, for folks who are watching Speaker Pelosi say, tonight she backs an impeachment inquiry. Many people in the Democratic caucus had previously said that's what was going on. True?
Yes, in a bottom-up way.
So if she doesn't ultimately hold a floor vote, is that a disappointment to you in your role as a member of these two key committees? Is that what the Democrats think has been advanced tonight, or is it not really advanced?
If we hold a floor vote, I think it's because it's clear that the rule of law has been violated. Our national security's been jeopardized. I'm not going to prejudge, what she's going to do. I think he, should have been impeached a long time ago. But there's an urgency here. And I think her decision tonight to involve herself and say that, it's her priority to have these investigations shows the seriousness of what the president's done.
And now that we've updated our graphics here, and we're at 186 Democrats, an all-time high, backing this impeachment probe. As you know, you only need 218 total. Are you and other Democrats going to now try to rally? I mean, who are the holdouts now? Who are the remainders? We've seen some of the so-called freshman swing members and other centrists come out.
Yeah, again, it's a personal decision for each member. But what we are telling those members who have not yet supported it is that if you do nothing, this president is going to get worse. He's proven himself to only get worse. And second, we're lowering the conduct for future presidents. But again, we don't even have to look at what he did with the 2016 election. We have an election coming up that he's already inviting another country to help him with. Like, we have to act now. Like, it's now.
Well, is that part
we don't
of
have time to screw around.
Is that part of the Democratic message, that he tried to collude in 2016 when Russia initiated? And now by 2020, he's sort of gotten good at it, and he's trying to collude again, but he's initiating?
Yeah. A leopard doesn't change its spots, essentially. And again, if this was the only thing he had done, if he hadn't cashed in on access to the Oval Office, if he hadn't worked with the Russians, this would still be something worthy of an impeachment investigation, is what we're saying.
And were you in that meeting today?
I was in the leadership meeting with the Speaker, and I was in the caucus meeting that followed.
I know there's some stuff you guys aren't going to tell us. We get that. Is there anything you can tell us, though, about what it was like in there? Because the Speaker who came out and addressed the nation, she almost seemed to be in State of the Union mode. She seemed to be suggesting it's an inflection point. But again, I'm just listening and learning as I go. I'm hearing from you. That doesn't mean there's going to be a floor vote. It doesn't mean we know what the future is. A lot of people around the country are looking up. They see on the news Pelosi backs impeachment after Trump admits Ukraine scandal. They're thinking that means there is at least going to be a vote on impeachment, if not actually him being impeached. So with that space in between, again, in fairness to you, what else can you tell us about the meeting or her seriousness or her sort of gravitas on this? Or are we going to be in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks and we're going to hear, well, there's a lot of committee meetings and we just have to wait and wait and wait, because some folks, as you know, are tired of waiting in your caucus?
Yeah. I heard from her an urgency to act, and I just saw in the way that she led the meeting that we really do not have time, considering how close we are to an upcoming election, and that the Inspector General said this is urgent and credible. And I met with the Inspector General last week with the Intelligence Committee, and he said it was urgent and credible when the complaint was made over a month ago, and it remains urgent and credible today. And so let's get moving.
Let's get moving. Anything else you want everyone to know out there? I ran my mouth a little bit, so I want to make sure to give you final words.
No, again, she's not rushing into this, and I think that's why so many of us respect her, is that she's sort of been backed into this, but has nowhere to go when the president is telling George Stephanopoulos he would receive help from a foreign power
backed
again.
Into it by this rising number of Democrats, or backed into it by the president's actions?
I think the president's action. Like, sorry, we've tried to work with you in a number of ways. There's nowhere else to go. The national security is at risk.
Understood. Congressman Swalwell, in the Venn diagram of the committees that the Speaker mentioned tonight, you were right in the heart along with some of your colleagues. Intelligence, Judiciary, busy night. Thank you for coming on the beat.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ari.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.